All right, people, and welcome back to The Slice. I appreciate you guys being here. We are in, as you can see, Dubai and Acapulco, and we've got lots on the table here for some of the biggest players in the world. Obviously, Novak Djokovic, thankfully, is back on the tennis tour playing tennis. Already won his first match in Dubai. And Rafa Nadal is back in Acapulco playing again after his insane 21st Grand Slam at the Australian Open. But Daniil Medvedev also has some potential this week to become the world number one. Again, he's had a few potentials in the last year to do that. If he were to win this tournament in Acapulco, he will become number one. And Novak Djokovic, nice guy alert, says he'll be the first to congratulate him and kind of acknowledges that it will happen eventually. So let's get into the draws of Dubai and Acapulco, get into the matchups going on. The tournaments have obviously already started. Nadal's playing right now, about to win the first set. I have no doubt that he'll have success against Denis Kudla. So let's get into it. Thanks for being here, and welcome to the show.
You're coming at you from the Del Rey Beach Open. Miami Open. This is Novak and Dominic Leandre. We are here with the man, Niels Rana. Welcome to the Slice.
Appreciate you. You guys know that? I appreciate you. Thanks for being back on the show. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, click the like button, and consider joining the channel. I need you guys to join our channel on Patreon or here as a member. You get bonus perks. You can send in questions for pros, and you help my journalism and our journalism here at The Slice continue. You guys are the reason we do it. Appreciate you. So yeah, let's take a look at what's going on. I've been a little bit off the grid here for a little while. That's why there hasn't been as many videos coming out, but we're back in action now for a really exciting time of the year. It's kind of like Dubai and Acapulco set up the American hardcourt spring, is it called? When, like we got the summer, which is like the tournaments in Cincinnati, in Toronto or Montreal before the US Open. But this is like the spring, the Sunshine Double gets set up by these tournaments in Acapulco and Dubai. So biggest storyline of the week, Djokovic is back. Everyone was waiting to see, it's been just like the craziest start to a tennis year, probably drama-wise, maybe ever, because we had the world number one player going for 21, great chance to do it, deported out of the country. Anyways, we're going to leave all that behind. I think he's done some soul searching. He's left it all behind, and he says, he's ready to, he's standing by his stance on not getting vaccinated, and he's willing to give up possibly the future titles, Grand Slams, to do it. So no matter your opinion on that, you got to respect that commitment to your own views. Anyways, let's get into the draw here at Acapulco. Sorry, Dubai. As we saw, Djokovic beat Musetti, and actually 6-3, 6-3. It was Djokovic definitely had some rust there. I wouldn't say it was like a vintage Djokovic performance. He had to battle a lot, yelling at his bench to try and get him into the match to help him get through the line of a tough, obviously, Lorenzo Musetti, who's had a tough go of it. The Djokovic path to the final is interesting. So you got Musetti. Now he's playing Khachanov, who he should be fine against. It's a very fast court in Dubai, if you didn't know that. It's super fast court in Dubai, and Djokovic is a very good fast court player. So that shouldn't be a huge problem with him. He's got Khachanov next, and then he's probably got Roberto Bautista Agut. He's been playing unbelievable. He's just been playing like classic RBA. And if you remember, RBA, I think, beat Djokovic in Dubai, check me on this, 2018 or 2019. And he's had success against Djokovic on the hard courts. So on a fast hard court like this, it could be tricky for Djokovic, especially if he's rusty. And then we had Denis Shapovalov, so then he could play, Bautista Agut in the quarterfinals, and then Shapovalov in the semifinals if he gets through, and where he almost didn't get through because Shapovalov's had a rough go of it after getting into a war of words with Rafa Nadal. Doesn't end up well. Rafa Nadal, he was getting after him at the Australian Open. Shapovalov was, and then he's lost like 2 first rounds in a row. Since then, he almost lost today. He had to really fight against his own form and really fight against his own sporadicness on the court. But then he locked it together, played a lot better, and just won it in the final set, 7-5. Toughed it out against a very good Martin Fucsovics. So now Shapovalov should get through Taro Daniel and should get through Berankis or Popyrin to play Djokovic. And I would love to see it. Obviously, we'd probably do a live stream of that, Djokovic versus Shapovalov, on the Canadian Tennis Stream, because that's just popcorn stuff. You got Hurkacz and Rublev on the bottom there, as well as Sinner and Andy Murray. Sinner and Andy Murray playing tomorrow. that is a fire matchup. So that's Acapulco. The story of the tournament there, obviously, is Djokovic. How's he going to play? What's his level going to be at? Right now, going into Indian Wells, it doesn't even look like he can play Indian Wells because there's a hardcore vaccine mandate there. So yeah, his ranking is going to drop. He knows that. And the guy who's going to overtake him is going to be Daniil Medvedev unless he forgets how to play on hard court in the next 3 tournaments, which is not likely. So it's amazing to have Djokovic back, to see him play again, do his Spider-Man splits on the Dubai court. What do you guys think about his form? What do you think of how rusty was he? Let me know in the comment section below. So now let's look at Acapulco. Why don't we? So yeah, anyways, if you hadn't seen, this is Djokovic's new kit. One thing before Acapulco, very clean. It's kind of similar to what Lacoste has been doing the last few years. And Djokovic, yes, was stoked to be through. Acapulco now. Where are we at? We got, like I said, Daniil Medvedev, number 1 seed. It's kind of funny. Zverev, number 2 seed. And then Nadal, even though he won the Australian Open, he's still the number 4 seed based on his lack of play last year. So Medvedev beat Benoit Paire today, no surprise there. A crazy match was Kozlov beating the lucky loser, Stefan Kozlov, beating Grigor Dimitrov yesterday in a barn burner where Kozlov had like the craziest cramps. Like he could barely walk around the court. And then I didn't watch this live, but somehow he found a way to beat Dimitrov. Bit depressing for Dimitrov there for sure. Basically lost to a guy who couldn't walk. So Medvedev's in the top half there. Might play Fritz in the quarterfinals, then Berrettini or Nadal, obviously, in the semifinals. So that's a huge matchup to look forward to. New court there, new stadium apparently. So apparently it's a little bit slower. So that'll be interesting to see. Then at the bottom, we got Zverev, who almost lost to Jensen Brooksby. And they set a new record, Jensen Brooksby and Zverev, finishing apparently at like 4:30 a.m. in the morning. It's like the latest ATP match ever finished in the morning. Just craziness. Didn't watch it again because I wasn't up till 4 in the morning for a first round match, even though that is a great matchup. I think I actually watched the beginning of that match in the first set, and then I turned it off. And then it ended like 2 hours later. Just craziness. And Stefanos Tsitsipas is also in there. So great draws, 2 great tournaments. The story of it is, again, yeah, if Medvedev can win this tournament, he becomes world number 1. I think that pressure has actually affected him. He was a bit depressed after losing the Australian Open final, which he probably should not have lost. Let's be honest here. Rafa Nadal had one of the most amazing comebacks we've ever seen, but Medvedev had the hammer ready to smash the nail and forgot to smash the nail. He had 3 big points, up 2 sets to love, didn't do it. Pretty crazy. He was hurt by that. He was also hurt by the fans not giving him the love, so maybe he knows what Djokovic feels or faces like all the time now. But Daniil Medvedev is going to want this number 1 spot, obviously. If he can do this tournament, win this tournament, he can do it. So regardless of what happened at the Australian Open, if him and Nadal play in the semifinal, he's the favorite. Let's just be real here. Based on the form of the last year on hard courts, I would put him as the favorite in that match, especially when there's less physicality involved, which is weird to say because Nadal's like 36, but he's the bionic man. These 3 goats, they're not in the same class of physics as the other guys, are they? So that's the case with Acapulco. Medvedev going for world number 1. Nadal just probably like in La La Land chopping it up. He's like, yeah, I just won my 21st slam. I'm going to come down to Mexico, take my $1 million bonus play for just playing. Life's good. Life is very good in the Rafa Nadal camp. And then in Dubai, we're all happy to see Djokovic playing again. And he's just looking to get back in the form of things and just play tennis, obviously, and get ready to hopefully play at the French Open and Wimbledon, which I think they will because the vaccine mandates may be dropped at that point, depending on how the world's going. We don't know. I'm not going to make any predictions on that. But I will make a prediction that if you join the membership here on YouTube or Patreon, support a channel, you will become a better tennis player and a more legendary tennis fan. So we'll see you guys next time. We will do a video probably breaking down the winner of Dubai and Acapulco. Obviously a preview of Indian Wells coming up. And I'm going to Switzerland. So I'm going to Europe. You guys know that. And your support is what's going to help me do it. So stay tuned for lots of content throughout the clay and grass swing from us here at The Slice on the ground where tennis is happening. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for being